What's up, internet comic book fam, and welcome back to a new video. It's that time of week again where we come together, take a seat, and take a look at all the best and worst covers hitting your local comic book shelves on this new Comic Book Wednesday, October 8th, 2025, or the day that I'm officially deeming the wallet breaker, as we have so many variant covers hitting store shelves this week. We have, of course, the bunch of new number ones and the kickoff of the new DC event, DC KO, that slap down, knockdown, drag out battle royale that pits hero against hero, villain against villain for ultimate supremacy as our heroes try to be the last man standing or woman standing to be imbued with Omega energy to go take on Darkseid, if you will. We also have a new creative team on Transformers 25. So much to cover this week. So without further ado, let's take a look at all of our DC, Marvel, and independent top 5 covers so you know what to look for when you head into the shop so you can rush home and dive deep into your new comics. With that being said, first up, we're going to start with our top 5 for DC, as always. Coming in at number 5, we have this cover C, Nimit Maleva variant on Superman, the Kryptonian Spectrum number 3. I love this cover because of its nostalgic factor. It reminds me of being a kid in school, drawing Superman in my notebook, and of course, what kid drawing or 90s-esque Superman drawing would be complete without that little S down there. Everyone, all you 90s kids know exactly what that S is. I forget what it's called. I just know that I used to draw them in school all the time. Start with 3 lines, connect them all to make that bad boy down there. Just to walk down nostalgic lane right here. Love the detail in it. Love the feel of drawing with the colored pencils. Beautiful cover. Always did this on your legal pad like that you had to have in school. Definitely hit those nostalgia feels for me this week. Coming in at number 4, we have this cover B, Martin Simmons variant for Batman Dark Patterns number 11. The book that just seems to be exploding. The book that just seems to be appearing all over these hot 10 lists, no matter what part of the internet you're going for comic book content. This book is there. Not necessarily number 11, but the earlier issues. But I do love this Martin Simmons cover B here, as it looks like Batman is playing the ultimate game of chess using Gotham City as the pieces against a sinister foe. Definitely a beautiful cover. I love kind of the ominous of Batman, really just imbuing that shadow, that night, that presence, the aura of Batman over that cityscape of Gotham City. Beautiful cover. Coming in at number 3, we have this cover B, Julia March variant for Batman and Robin 26. Beautiful cover. I love the color palette used here. I love that you have Robin kind of strapping down his gloves, getting ready for action, ready to roll in and fight some crime. Really well done cover. This is the cover I'm going to be picking up, and I'm not even reading Batman and Robin 26 or any other version of Batman and Robin currently. I just like this Robin cover that much. It's not that often you get such a detail and quality Robin cover that, as a Robin fan, this is the book I'm picking up this week just for that reason. Coming in at number 2, we have Absolute Batman 13, this beautiful cover F Stanley Art Germ Lou foil virgin variant. That's a mouthful, but Ultimate Catwoman making her debut in the pages of Ultimate Batman. I want to say Ultimate Absolute Batman 13. We also got a hint. If you paid attention to SNS this week, we got a hint that we're going to see Absolute Harley Quinn in the pages of this book. So that's 2 reasons to pick up this beautiful book. And why not pick up this beautiful Stanley Art Germ cover? It just demands your attention as it sits there on the comic book shelf. And at number 1, we have this cover G, Ben Oliver face-off variant for what else? DC KO number 1. Look at Superman there with the glowing red eyes, ready for a fight as he has those like solar brass knuckles ready to rumble, ready to go. Who does Superman draw in the first round of the KO bracket? We're going to find out. But I am super excited for this crossover. I hope it lives up to all the hype, and I can't wait to see who the last person standing is obtaining that Omega energy and getting ready to go face to face with Darkseid for the fate of the DC universe. All right, that's it for our top 5 best. Now we're going to get into our top 5 worst for DC. And at number 5, we have this cover B Michael Cho variant on Action Comics 10 91. I just don't like this cover because I feel like all the faces are the same. It's all pretty well downplayed. It's just not a great cover, not a lot of detail there. Like, you had to draw slits for the eyes of Superman. You couldn't give us a little bit more here. Not a big fan of how, like, again, all the faces look the same. All of them kind of have that same pose as they're looking up at a tiny little Superman. Not digging it, not feeling it. I feel like there's better options there for that Action Comics book if you're going to pick it up this week. So I would say not a fan of this Michael Cho variant. Coming in at number 4, we have this Cover E Jay Lee variant on DCKO number 1, or as I'm starting to dub it, the Superman Shazam titty twister cover, because that's what it looks like to me. It looks like that Shazam is struggling to try and stop Superman from giving him a titty twister or a purple nurple or whatever you want to call it. Not a big fan of this. Not a big fan of how dopey the characters kind of look in this. There's definitely a lot better covers on the DCKO book this week. I have nothing against Jay Lee. I like a lot of his stuff, but this one just doesn't do it for me, simply for the fact it looks like Shazam is trying to fight off Superman and prevent him from getting the ultimate purple nurple. Coming in at number 3, we have this Cover D Ashley Wood variant. There wasn't a lot of options for terrible covers this week. It took me a long time. That's kind of why this video is late, because it took me a long time to figure out covers to put on this worst covers list, and not all of them deserve to be there. Again, it's for nitpicky reasons, and this Ashley Wood is kind of one of those. I do like this cover. I do like the way that the Penguin is kind of subtly hidden in there as Batman and Robin are sitting on the rooftop. I like the Batman. I don't like the Robin. The Robin looks like a lightning bolt. The cape looks like a lightning bolt. The face is goofy. It just doesn't work for me as far as the Robin goes. And again, like I said, not a lot to pick from worst covers this week. So in order to put the video together, I had to make some sacrifices and put some books on there that probably don't really belong there. But there are better cover options. So this is just kind of the weakest cover on this book this week. So that's why it made the list at number 3. Coming in at number 2, we have something very similar. It's Superman, the Kryptonian Spectrum number 3, Martin Morazzo cover. I love Martin Morazzo's artwork in books like Ice Cream Man, and I believe he was doing the artwork for Absolute Wonder Woman. Fine, great. For here, it just doesn't work. You have that sulky, just depressed, down Superman, which is a Superman you don't ever see, and you just have Shazam kind of looking like, Lenny from Of Mice and Men over here. It looks like the Lenny and George of Mice and Men cover over here, if you will. You got Lenny and George dressed up and cosplaying as Superman and Shazam on the swings. Just not really feeling the kind of vibe this cover's giving off. I think you could find some better options here, so that's why this made it at the number 2. And coming in at number 1, we have this Batman Gotham by Gaslight, a League of Justice number 4. This Cover B Kyle Holtz variant. There's just a lot going on in this cover. This cover is a jumbled up mess. I understand that it's supposed to be, I guess, Cyborg kind of being put together and assembled in this kind of Gotham by Gaslight Victorian era-esque series. But I'm just not a big fan of this cover. Like I said, I feel like there's so much going on here. It's kind of hard to really pinpoint and focus in on it and really appreciate the cover and what the artist is trying to do. So I think that you have better options here in Gotham by Gaslight. And that's why it made it in at the number 1 spot on the worst covers of the week this week. All right, that's it for DC. Now we're going to cruise right into Marvel. And kicking us off from Marvel at the number 5 spot on the best covers of the week, we have the Amazing Spider-Man Torn Adam Hughes A cover. This is a beautiful Adam Hughes cover. I love the detail in the city below. Adam Hughes put a lot of work into this cover. The Spider-Man is beautiful and spectacular, no pun intended. The cityscape is absolutely beautiful. I love the way he stuck his signature down here on the Times Square billboards. Fantastically done. Great Amazing Spider-Man cover. Great Adam Hughes cover. I can't wait to pick this up. Coming in at number 4, we have Eddie Brock Carnage number 9. Rod Reese Marvel Zombies variant. I love this Carnage Marvel Zombies mock-up here. It's very, very well done. I love the kind of just representation of the zombie half of the face and the Carnage on the other half, as it is full Carnage coming out of the smoke. It's eerie. It's a little bit creepy, a little bit bone chilling. It's a really good cover, especially if you're on this Marvel Zombies craze, since Marvel Zombies is all over Disney Plus and everyone's talking about that series for better or for worse. Coming at number 3, we have Marvel's Black, White, and Blood and Guts Derek True variant for this number 1. This beautiful Beautiful Blade variant. Blade surrounded by zombies, sword out, mid-action scene, hacking and slashing, going to town. How often is it that we get a stunning Blade variant? Beautiful Derek Chew cover, amazing Blade cover, lots of blood, lots of action. This cover really stands out on the shelf, jumps out at you, and screams for you to pick it up. It's a Blade cover. You can't go wrong with it. And it looks like Wesley Snipes' Blade at that. Get it, pick it up, and enjoy if you're looking forward to Marvel Black, White, and Blood and Guts. That's a mouthful. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have Binary number 1, this 1 in 50 Ivan Talavera Virgin variant. You have Binary looking absolutely elegant, strong, powerful, cosmic, and sexy outside of Earth, flying through space as she's imbued with the Phoenix Force. How does Binary get the Phoenix Force? I don't know. I'm excited to find out, and this cover does a lot to instow that excitement in me. I can't wait to pick this up, and I will be getting this 1 in 50 Ivan Talavera Binary number 1 variant. It's just a cosmically stunning cover, in my opinion, that you can't go wrong picking up. And coming in at number 1 spot, we have this Laura Kinney Sabretooth number 1 in 50 Pablo Villalobos Virgin variant. There is also a trade dress variant on this book as well of this cover. I can't wait to pick this up. This is a beautiful Villalobos cover. I don't understand or know why Laura Kinney is picking up the mantle of Sabretooth, but we're going to find out, and we're going to all find out together tomorrow when you go into your local comic book shop and pick this book up. This is a beautiful cover. I love how powerful she is, defiantly standing there with everything destroyed around her, claws out, looking absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to pick this book up. I'll be fully honest with you, though. I'm probably going to pick up the trade dress just because I'm not really one to get variants a lot of the times, especially ratios. So I will probably leave this ratio variant to someone who really wants to pay that extra money for it. And I'm just as happy with the trade dress on it as long as I have the beautiful, beautiful cover in my collection. And that's it for the best. Now we're going to get into the worst and the worst. Starting us off at the number 5 spot, we have this Spider-Man and Wolverine Greg Land Muppets variant. Now I'm going to be 100% transparent. 4 and 5 are both Muppets variants. And I say that because there are some products that I understand you're celebrating a big milestone anniversary, but they don't need to move over to the comics books medium like this. And the Muppets are one of them. Why are we putting the Muppets on a Spider-Man and Wolverine book, let alone a Spider-Man Torment number 1? They don't belong here. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't work. Don't have the Muppet covers on these books. I get the Disney thing because Disney owns Marvel, and the Disney might even own the Muppets. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think they do. But again, the Disney characters thing is cool, but now we're just throwing things at the wall to try and just get it out there to celebrate the Muppets 70 years of being a thing. I appreciate the Muppets. I appreciated them when I was a kid. I loved Muppet Babies. I love the Muppets themselves. Muppets Take Manhattan. Fantastic. But I don't need to see the Muppet covers on my comic books, especially when they have nothing to do with the characters that are on the inside or anything like that. It's just a cash cow. It's just a cash grab. It's pretty much Marvel just saying you're all sheep and you'll buy these covers if you're a Muppets fan. I'm not in it. I'm not buying it. These can sit on the shelves or in dollar bins for a long time for all I care. Not sold on these Muppet covers, especially the Miss Piggy and Kermit one. Not a fan of this at all. This Javier Gorin Muppets variant, I could do without it. I don't knock the artist. I know that I'm sure Marvel reached out to them and asked them to do this, but again, this is a knock on Marvel. I don't understand why we need to push the Muppets on our comic books. You took away a beautiful piece of art that you could have given this artist that people are going to talk about, want, end up on hot 10 lists, go for the secondary market for, and instead you're putting them on this Muppets 70-year anniversary books. Just not feeling it. Not a fan. You're not going to get me on this cash grab. Same with number 3. Again, this Muppets variant on Avengers 31. Again, with Animal and his band. Not feeling it. Not down for it. This cover is just ridiculous. It doesn't work for me. Hard pass. Not a fan of it. Move on to the next. Coming in at number 2, we have this Carnage, Eddie Brock Carnage A cover. again, it was a tough week for variant covers to find not so great covers of the week. Um, that's kind of why all the Muppet ones made it in there, because those are the covers that I felt like really didn't deserve to be on books. And this cover too, it kind of looks like Carnage is bear hugging Eddie Brock and making him smell his finger. It's not a great cover. Not really digging it. It's kind of simplistic in a lot of ways. I guess we're gonna get a new character here. Just not feeling it. I kind of feel like this book is, as much as I love it, it's starting to kind of run its course a little bit and kind of lose its direction. I feel like, I don't know, hopefully issue 9 brings it back under, but I think we're all just ready to see the confrontation between Muse and Eddie Brock and Carnage already. Am I right? And in this issue, it just feels like Eddie Brock is going to try to eliminate Carnage once again. So it just kind of feels rinse and repeat, but just not a fan of this cover here. So I think you could find better options. And this is probably one where I would bypass the A cover and go with a variant to pick up instead. And coming in at number 1, we have the Laura Kinney Sabretooth, Dan Jurgens Revelations variant. I don't understand why Kim Kardashian is holding a Chris Hemsworth cosplaying Sabretooth. Not feeling it, not feeling the lip injections Laura Kinney got, all the lightning, all the rain. She's just, I don't know. Again, I don't know what's coming out of this book. I'm excited to find out, but I'm going to go with that Villa-Lobos cover over this Dan Jurgens cover. And that's just, again, my opinion, because this is my video. But if you disagree with me, make sure to let me know in the comments section below. But that's the cover I'll be getting over this Dan Jurgens one. All right, that's it for our best and worst covers of the week for Marvel. Now we're going to move into our independent offerings. And coming into the number 5 spot for our independent books this week, we have Blue Falcon and Dynamite number 2, this cover D, Francesco Mattina variant. Now, as I was putting this together, this cover was to release, this book was to release on this Wednesday, October 8th. It looks like it has been since pushed to next Wednesday, the 15th. I didn't have time to change it in recording, as League of Comic Geeks still had this at a release date of October 8th when I recorded this. So I went back and changed it and just kind of added this explanation here as to why this book is on here at the number 5 spot. So there you go. It's still a beautiful Francisco Mattina cover. I will pick it up next week when it comes out. Now back to your regularly scheduled program. Coming at the number 4 spot, we have this Marion Heretic number 1, this cover E, 1 in 20 Jenny Frism Boom 20th anniversary Virgin variant. I love the use of the black and whites and the scaled down grays in this cover. Beautiful cover, beautiful Jenny Frism cover. Pick this up if you are a Jenny Frism fan. Coming in at number 3, we have this Something is Killing the Children. A monster hunter walks into a bar, number 1. This cover F, 1 in 25 Puppeteer Lee Virgin variant. I love this cover. It is such a well done cover. Beautiful. You can see the paint strokes in it. A solid Puppeteer Lee cover. Alas, I do hear you Something Killing the Children fans out there who are screaming for something to happen in this book. Tinian, quit coming out with new books and focus on this. Give us some quality here in Something's Killing the Children. Give us a little bit more. Add something to Something's Killing the Children. Progress this story a little bit. And hopefully this will do that. But this is a beautiful Puppeteer Lee cover for any Puppeteer Lee collector. Coming into the number 2 spot, we have this cover D, 1 in 25 Kale Young variant on Transformers 25. We have a new creative team. Robert Kirkman takes over writing it. Dan Mora takes over the art. A new story arc, a new team, a new slew of covers and variants. And I believe there's even blind bags for this book. I know that there is some crazy New York Comic Con variants. If you're a Soundwave fan, Big Clutch has a massive Soundwave variant. And I believe it's also in some eBay blind bags, something like that as well. But this is a beautiful cover. A lot of powerhouse Transformers covers this week. I just picked this one as it's a 1 in 25 ratio. Going to probably be pretty relatively easy to get on this book, especially with Robert Kirkman taking over. I'm sure stores really loaded up on Transformers this week. And coming in at number 1, we have this Godzilla 1 in 25 Tristan Jones Virgin variant. I just love the way Godzilla looks here with all the neon greens, the lightning behind him, the helicopters flying, and it looks like you're on one of those helicopters flying to confront Godzilla. Amazing Godzilla covers. There have been quite a few of those in 2025, which seems to be the year of the kaiju or the year of Godzilla. And coming in at our worst covers of the week for our independents, again, this is one where I really had to nitpick. And we're going to go with this cover E Mark Spears variant on Harley Quinn X Elvira #1. It's not a bad cover. Here's my take on Spears. I love a lot of what Mark Spears does. And a lot of time his stuff doesn't work. This works for the Elvira, but I didn't need to know what Cameron Diaz would look like as Harley Quinn or Emma Stone as Harley Quinn. Didn't need to do it. It feels like it's Elvira taking a picture with a Harley Quinn cosplayer. This next critique is not a fault of Mark Spears at all. I don't like the way Dynamite does this, where they take one cover image and then they splatter it with a foil, a metal, a virgin, or they just change the background color. It's the same image, just a different background cover. I'm starting to feel like Mark Spears is getting worked thin. He's wearing thin. It's starting to feel like maybe he might be a little bit overworked. Maybe that's just me. I know his Monsters book last week had a reused cover that was just of the witch on the broom that was just recolored orange. It is what it is. He's got the Monsters blind bags coming out. Everyone's still going crazy for Spears, and rightfully so. I love Mark Spears' work, but sometimes everyone strikes out. I didn't like the Mel Gibson Lino cover. I'm not digging the Cameron Diaz Harley Quinn Elvira cover. Just not feeling it. I'm going to pass on it on that. Like I said, I feel like Spears is just oversaturating the market because there's so many Spears covers, especially with his Monsters book. There's like 90 some covers coming out with these blind bags. That's just my opinion. I love his work most of the time. I think some of his stuff is strong. Sometimes it's not. And I feel like this is just one of those cases where, as good as the Elvira is, the Harley kind of makes this cover lack a little bit. And I'm not a fan of all the same covers, just different background colors. Not a fault of Spears. I'm sure Dynamite probably ordered that up. Dynamite probably asked for that. It is what it is. Just not feeling it. I don't need it. And that's why it's at the #5 spot. Again, that is solely it. I understand that it could come off as being maybe a little bit nitpicky, whatever the case may be. That's just why it was put on the #5 spot this week. Coming at #4, we have the cover B Tony Fleece Cursed Mirror variant on Call DSAC #3. I put this here because I'm not sure if this is a finished cover. If it is, for Tony Fleece, it's very toned down. It's very basic. It's very rushed. I want to say that I feel like this isn't the final. This is just kind of a sketch placeholder. But all the sites I looked on, whether it was Midtown or My Comic Book Shop or League of Comic Geeks, this is the cover image that came up. So this is what I went with. It's just very toned down, kind of basic. Again, I don't feel like this is going to be the finished cover art, but that's why it's at the #4 spot. Coming in #3, we have this Red Book #1, a new book from James Tynion, because we don't get enough James Tynion. Apparently, he's got to have a new book what feels like every other week. I'm not a big fan of this cover, just for how lazily the alien looks and overlaid over that propaganda poster. Just not feeling it. I feel like the red of the alien clashes with the red in the background of the cover, kind of makes it hard to differentiate it from the image behind it and make it stand out. Just really not. So that's why it's at the #3 spot. Coming in at #2, we have the High Strangeness cover C Becca Carey variant. Not a fan of this. It just feels like it's so plain down and basic. It's not a cover that kind of tells you what the story's about. It doesn't really pique your interest. It doesn't really grab your intrigue to pick it up off the shelf and read it. I feel like you could go with one of the other covers on this book that absolutely does that. This one just was not one of them. And because it's so plain, so basic, so toned down, that's why it's at the #2 spot on the worst covers of the week list this week. And coming in at #1, We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Journeys #2, this Laird and Dooney cover. Who wanted to know that the Turtles had a schlong? I understand that it's probably supposed to be the tail, but the positioning of it and the way it's popping up looks like it's going from 6 to midnight in that cold, cold New York City. It looks like Turtle Schlong. I don't need to see Turtle Schlong. I'm not here for Turtle Schlong. Let's get Turtle Schlong off our covers. That's probably one thing that I think a eraser could have fixed and would have made it a little bit better. We don't need the Turtles to have a tail, or at least to see it in that aspect. And the placement on it is really just really weird. I wouldn't be surprised if this cover potentially gets recalled or if the schlong isn't there on the final product. But if you want yourself some Turtle Schlong, there you go. There it is, front and center in your face. But I'm just not here for Turtle Schlong. So that's kind of why it got the #1 spot on the worst covers of the week for the Independents this week. That's it. That is our best and worst covers of the week for the new comic book releases on October 8th. 2025. I hope you all have an amazing new comic book day. I hope you get out there and you pick up all these amazing covers, and your wallet doesn't take too much of a hit with all the covers and DCKO and all the new #1s hitting the shelves this week. But that's going to do it for me. If you like this content and you like what we're doing on this channel, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Click that notification bell so you have notifications turned on whenever we upload a new video or go live. Enjoy New Comic Book Day. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you around the spinner rack.